You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodrans for Black and White Sports. Last night was one of the best things I've seen in a long time involving sports. Major League Baseball put on this Field of Dreams presentation, and they played out in Iowa where they filmed Field of Dreams, and it was fantastic. The pregame was awesome. Kevin Costner was there. James Earl Jones did a voiceover, and it was the first time in years that I felt a massive emotional connection to the game that I grew up playing and loving. And I did. I got a little emotional last night, and it was great. But I made it through the first round of the Yankees batting, and the Yankees are my favorite team, and then I turned it off. Why did I turn it off? Because Mac Jones was making his debut for the New England Patriots, and I wasn't fixing to miss that, regardless of what was on TV. Well, somehow, some way, last night's event had to be made into some kind of a racial issue during the broadcast, and it was by A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez. Last Major League Baseball game I went to, Alex Rodriguez hit 3 home runs for my New York Yankees. Went up to Arlington, watched them play the Rangers. Pretty awesome, because in a stadium of about 55,000 fans, 40,000 of them in Dallas were New York Yankees fans. And it was great. It was great. But for full disclosure, do a lot of Yankees fans just really feel that A-Rod's a Yankee? I don't know about that. Not like Derek Jeter. Or, honestly, not even like Jason Giambi and Nick Swisher, if you want to know the truth. Okay, that's just being honest. And, of course, there were so many great players growing up. Ricky Henderson, Dave Winfield, and my favorite, Don Mattingly. Well, A-Rod somehow, some way, made a point to bring race into the scenario from last night's events. Oh, let's get to this. A-Rod calls for more diversity in baseball after Tim Anderson's Field of Dream walk-off. We need more African Americans. Virtue Signal of the Day award goes to Alex Rodriguez. As recently as 1995, 19% of Major League Baseball players were black. At the start of 2021 Major League Baseball season, that number was down to just 7% as diversity in the sport continues to be a problem. Does it now? Are we sure about that? World Series games aside, Thursday was one of Major League Baseball's most successful nights in years as they brought the 1989 film Field of Dreams to life for a sport that often struggles to attract new and younger audiences. Yeah, we'll get to that. They perfectly promoted and delivered on Thursday night's event aired by Fox. During the post-game show, Alex Rodriguez celebrated the night and hoped it attract more diversity to the sport. Why can't it just attract more people to the sport in general? More people. Because I got to tell you, you've got a people problem regardless of race in baseball right now. I got texts tonight from people who haven't texted me in 10 or 15 years, A-Rod said, to describe baseball fans being reinvigorated. Yeah, it was fantastic. And here's what I love, fellas. He continued, turning to David Ortiz. Quote, 4 home runs by African Americans. Wait, what? This is a big night for baseball. It's a historic night. We need more African Americans coming back like when we broke in. The biggest home run of the night was hit by White Sox star Tim Anderson, who gave his team a walk-off victory and gave the Field of Dreams event a Hollywood ending. Anderson is one of the few black players in Major League Baseball, an all-star, batting champion, and one of the most exciting players in the game. Anderson was undoubtedly introduced to a new slate of fans Thursday night. If you're a fan of Major League Baseball, do you really believe that fans currently don't know who Tim Anderson is? Okay. As great as Anderson is at playing baseball, he doesn't like watching the sport because it's, quote, boring. For years, Major League Baseball owners and older fans have pushed back on players for trying to add flair and personality to the game. Players were instead told to play the game the right way. Are we literally saying black players can't play the game, quote, the right way? For real? Are we saying that? A sentiment that retired Cy Young winner CC Sabathia has blasted for pushing black athletes away from the game. Again, you're saying black athletes can't play the game the right way? Slowly, bat flips and celebrations are being accepted as good for growing the game, without players being scolded to play the right way. Thursday night, Anderson showed the audience he's bringing energy to baseball. Hopefully, the sport allows him to do it. Okay, so let's get to the diversity part, because it's just me, or is Major League Baseball overwhelmingly got a massive Latino player base? Am I going nuts? Puerto Rico, the Caribbean, Mexico, is that not considered diversity in some way, form, or fashion? And now, let's just talk about the elephant in the room that's stomping the piss out of the NBA and Major League Baseball. It's football. The rise of football is stealing audiences of all colors, college and the NFL. You can almost see a direct correlation between the rise of college football ratings and the dropping of Major League Baseball ratings. I mean, college football games on Thursday nights can draw 10 and 12 million viewers. Freaking MAC games on Wednesday night can draw 3 million viewers, more than a Major League Baseball game. Okay, people love football. People have gravitated towards football. Football is sucking the air out of the room for all kinds of younger viewers. And look at me. I grew up loving baseball. But somewhere around 2002, the rise of college football stole me away. Now, I still watched and was very intertwined into Major League Baseball, but I'm a sports nut. But there wasn't for a second I was passing a good NFL or college game up for any Major League Baseball game. Period. All right? I also feel like, to be honest with you, Major League Baseball's got a lack of real personalities of any color. Okay? I mean, Jose Canseco, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez, David Ortiz, Big Papi, Lenny Dykstra, Dwight Gooden, Darryl Strawberry. I mean, the names go on and on of guys that were larger in life in personality. A lot of those guys are now in college football and the NFL. Football has taken a lot of steam away from Major League Baseball and to a lesser extent the NBA. And let's just be honest. And again, I don't see that there's a diversity problem. You got all these Latino players in baseball. Somehow, some way, that doesn't count as diversity? Is that what we're saying? I'm so sick of hearing about skin color. It's always got to be about skin color. It doesn't even matter. No matter what we're talking about, you know, A-Rod, what you should have said was, it would be great that so many people came back to the game. We get more younger people of all races back towards the game. Because the fact is, the game is boring for a lot of younger audiences versus college football and the NFL. I mean, that's just a fact. That's just a fact. And I'll tell you, last I checked, last I outfitted a youngin' to play baseball, baseball wasn't cheap to play anymore either. It just wasn't. There's so many parents now that have put their kids into these baseball academies. And you're like, man, my kid just wants to go out and play a little baseball. And now there'll be 6 kids on a team that's all in some private baseball academy where they're literally going to school for their education in the same place they're being taught to play baseball. Who the hell can afford that shit? I can't. I mean, come on. I mean, in a lot of ways, that has taken some of the fun out of playing, I think, for some younger kids, okay? Let's just be real. It's football that's stealing a lot of people, regardless of color, away from baseball. It just is. I mean, football is more exciting these days. You know, that's where your personalities of all colors have gone and are playing, is the NFL and college football, to be real. Peace, I'm out. Oh, and the NFL and college football have found a way to connect each other through the NFL draft. So you already love a lot of these college players as they're coming out to the NFL. Baseball doesn't have that. Peace, I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.